Hey guys, it's Kevin Triforce, and this is my review of The Legend of Korra, Book 4, Chapter 4, Book for Balance, The Calling. Now, this one's about Tenzin's kids going to find Korra, and Korra finishing up her training with Toph. It was for now, of course. What was interesting about this episode is we got more character development for Iki and Miwo in particular. Janora's had a lot. Janora probably had the most, honestly. But it was good to see an episode with them all three get a lot of character development since the time skip. And we basically saw them travel throughout the Earth Kingdom. They saw the guy with the um, Avatar wall thing. We had to see the picture of Aang and Korra again. The first time we saw the Korra one, it was pretty funny. Aang one was still funny too. But then another thing we see is Milo has a short love interest thing, and then Iki ruins that, but it was funny. Then Iki gets captured after fighting with Janora and Milo by Kuvira's forces, or two of the guards at least, and then she basically kind of uses them and thinks, "Hey, we should go look in the swamp for the Avatar." Hey, we should go look at the swamp for the Avatar. Milo and Janora rescue her, of course. Then they proceed to go to the swamp. Now, while this is all going on, and I mean, I left. The first part was them leaving, anyway, from the Air Temple Island. But anyway, we see Korra ask Toph about teaching Aang earthbending, and then their fight with the Fire Lord, and she basically gives a brief synopsis of it. It's like really short, like a sentence basically, well, a couple sentences at the most, and it was funny. It was just like Toph. Then she sends Toph sends Korra to get them food, and then Korra has visions from all the villains in the swamp, and then Toph says she wanted her to see that, and explains that basically we know that they're all kind of grayish villains for the most part, but that they each were right in the what goal they wanted to accomplish, but they were out of balance, and that makes sense. Then that's to teach Korra that, of course. Then Toph decides to take her to that tree. I forgot what it's called, but that was in the original series. And then they go, Janora, Iki, and Milo go to the swamp, but then they don't think they'll find her there. But the swamp pulls them in, of course. And then they still don't sense Korra yet, but then Korra uses the tree, and the light goes through the vine or whatever. You know what I mean, like the original. And then they sense each other, and they come, and then Korra cries when she sees them, and it's really neat to see, and it's kind of sad. Then they meet Toph, and then Toph likes Milo because Milo kind of is like her in a way, and I find that funny. But she says, "Your grandpa was a pain in my butt," and I love that. It was perfect. Classic Toph, like I said. They nailed it. Then we go back to Toph's hut or whatever, that rock house thing she's in. It's not really a house, more of a tent or a hut, you know what I mean? And Korra thinks Toph's gonna bend the metal out of her because she says you gotta do it. But then she says you gotta do it yourself. So Korra does do it herself. And then Toph lets her give her a hug, and I thought that was really nice. And then they leave after that. And that's the end of the episode. I thought it was interesting. I thought it was a good one too. We saw more character development for Korra. I forgot to mention, she got fully healed. It appears she went to the Avatar state, so she's got that back. Like I said, I really like the character development. I do feel like they could have done a little bit more serious development with them. If I have any complaints, there still could have been a little bit more. But I'll give it a 8.5-ish, I guess. I'll give it an 8. I'm going to give it an 8. I would give it an 8.5, but I don't know. I'm going to give it an 8. That's about it, I guess. I can't think of anything else. I know this is shorter, but I couldn't think of as much to talk about with this episode. There wasn't as much to talk about, I guess. So, this is Kevin Triforce. I'm signing off. See you in the next video. Gates. Chapter 5. Enemy at the Gate.